If you've ever felt like you were not talented enough to achieve what you wanted. If you've ever watched someone with obvious natural ability and thought that kind of success was simply not available to you. If you've ever started something with enthusiasm, then watched someone more talented pull ahead and wondered why you should continue, then this video is for you. Because what you think determines who wins is probably wrong. Welcome back to Gentle Wisdom. Talent gets you started. Consistency gets you there. Today I am going to show you why talented people almost always lose to consistent ones, why consistency is more powerful than most people realize, and what you can do today that is worth more than any natural ability. So slow down, listen carefully, and let's begin. Lesson 1. Talent is the starting line, not the finish line. Here is the first truth. Talent is real. It gives some people a head start. It makes the early stages of learning easier. It can produce impressive initial results. But talent is a starting line, not a finish line. And the distance between the starting line and the finish line is crossed not by talent, but by consistent effort over time. History is full of people with extraordinary talent who produced ordinary results. And people with ordinary talent who produced extraordinary results. The difference is almost never ability. It is what was done with the ability. James Clear, in his book Atomic Habits, describes this with a simple formula. Small consistent actions, compounded over time, produce results that seem disproportionate to the effort. The person who improves 1% every day is not 1% better at the end of the year. They are 37 times better. Talent cannot produce that kind of compounding. Only consistency can. Remember this. Your talent is the starting point of your potential. Your consistency is what determines how much of it you actually reach. Lesson 2. Consistency compounds. Talent does not. Here is the second truth. Consistency behaves like compound interest. Talent does not. When you practice something consistently, each session builds on the last. Your ability grows not just through addition but through multiplication. Skills connect to other skills. Understanding deepens. What was difficult becomes automatic, freeing you to reach for the next level. This compounding does not require talent to start. It only requires showing up. A learner who practices English for 20 minutes every day will, after 1 year, have a level of fluency that no amount of occasional intense study can match. Not because of ability, because of the compounding of daily consistency. Meanwhile, the talented learner who studies in bursts intensely for a week, then not at all for a month, does not compound. Each period of absence partially erodes what the intensity built. The net progress is smaller than it should be. Consider Eva. She had always believed she was not good at languages. Her grammar was slow. Her pronunciation was imperfect. She started speaking English hesitantly, but she showed up every day. 20 minutes. Sometimes 30. Never skipping for more than 1 day. After 2 years, she was consistently outperforming learners who had started with far more natural ability. Not because her talent had grown, because her consistency had compounded. Here is what works. Choose one consistent practice. A fixed time. A fixed amount. Every day. And protect it like it is your most important appointment. Because it is. Lesson 3. Why talented people often fail. Here is the most uncomfortable part of this truth. Talented people often fail precisely because of their talent. When something comes easily, you do not develop the habits of persistent effort. You coast on ability when things are easy. And when things become difficult, as they always do at higher levels, the habit of pushing through is not there. The talented learner picks up new English vocabulary quickly, so they do not develop the habit of reviewing. They do not build the systems that support long-term retention, because in the early stages, they did not need to. Then the level increases. The material becomes harder. The early advantage disappears. And without the habits that consistent learners have been building all along, the talented learner stalls. The consistent learner, meanwhile, has been building habits the whole time. Review systems. Daily practice. The reflex of returning after a bad day. These habits carry them through difficulty in a way that talent alone never could. Talent can make the beginning easier. It can make early progress faster. But it cannot replace the habits that only consistency builds. Start here. Ask yourself honestly, are you relying on ability where you should be building habit? If yes, that is the place to start. Lesson 4. Today's consistency is worth more than yesterday's talent. And this is where everything comes together. You may not be the most talented person in the room. You may not learn as quickly as others. You may feel like you are always a step behind those with more natural ability. None of that determines your outcome. What determines your outcome is whether you show up today, and tomorrow, and the day after. The consistent learner, over time, always overtakes the talented one who is inconsistent. Not sometimes. Always. Because consistency compounds and talent fades without practice. Think about where you want to be with your English 1 year from now. Is the person who gets there talented or consistent? You cannot control your talent, but you can control whether you show up today. Mark had studied English with high talent for 3 months, then stopped for 6. He started again with enthusiasm, then stopped again. After 2 years, his English was roughly where he had started. His classmate had no special ability, but she had studied 20 minutes every single day for 2 years. Her English had transformed. Same time period. One different decision made daily. Today's consistency is worth more than yesterday's talent. And tomorrow's consistency will be worth more than today's talent. Show up today. That is enough. Train your mind and keep becoming.